How to navigate on the bike using Komoot. Should you use your phone or should you use a head unit? Well, I have to find my way around pretty wild places in the Scottish Highlands, and I think I have the answer. And it's a combination of both, but used in a rather special way. Okay, I'm going to say this right at the start. This channel has some pretty good cycling videos, so if that's the sort of thing you like, please subscribe, tell your friends, and help us to grow. And among those videos are some useful ones for planning your ride using Komoot on your laptop. And one of the good things about Komoot is the moment you've saved it there, you can access it on your phone. You don't have to transfer anything.
Open the Komoot app, and provided you have an internet connection, the route is there, along with all the others you planned. Before I leave home, I make the route available offline because many parts of the Scottish Highlands don't have 4G.
At this stage, I could just navigate with my phone. And if you're going to do that, I highly recommend the quad lock system. It's a case, it's a rain protective cover, and some mounts. They sent me these, but I bought the tempered glass screen myself and that mount because I really rate the system. In fact, even if you were going to navigate using a head unit, I would have this kind of in your back pocket as a supplementary backup navigation system, or, as we'll see later, a way for doing additional navigation to your main route.
Routinely though, I prefer to navigate using my head unit, partly because I want to save the battery of my phone for emergencies and for photos, and also I don't really like £1,000 worth of microcomputer balanced on my handlebars. It's safer in my back pocket. So what I'm going to talk to you about is getting your route from your Komoot onto that head unit, and it pretty much works regardless of what unit you're using. I happen to have a Garmin 1030, one of the old ones.
This is how I get the route across. I open the Garmin Connect app on my phone, and that links to the head unit and puts it online. Then I open the Komoot app on the Garmin. Other head units have these too. It accesses the Komoot webpage with my planned routes. Here I can download the chosen route to the Garmin so it works offline. Once done, I navigate to courses and the route is there. This is typically how I navigate.
On a ride, your head unit is doing two very different jobs. On the one hand, it's recording your ride so you can put the GPS file on Strava or Komoot or wherever. But on the other hand, it's helping you navigate. And that duality presents a little bit of a problem if you want to alter the course. Actually, there are two problems. Firstly, that's quite a laborious process, all that linking your phone and the head unit. But secondly, you have to end your ride, at least on this head unit from Garmin. You cannot connect it to the Komoot app while an activity is in process. Now that might be worth doing if it was a major rerouting, if a bridge was out and you had to go somewhere. But if it's just a minor rerouting to try and find the nearest cafe or the nearest supermarket, well, that's when I would reach in my back pocket and pull out my second form of navigation. I'd use my phone, I'd probably search on Google or Komoot, and then once I'd found what I wanted, clip this onto the handlebars and use it to navigate to that point. Then, once I wanted to restart my major ride, flip back onto the head unit, and actually it is probably rerouted to where you were starting from again. And if you're worried about battery life, just turn on the battery save feature on the phone and then use Google or Komoot's voice prompts. That way, when you come to a junction, you need to know which way to turn. The backlight on the screen doesn't come on because that's what uses the power. You'll just hear the direction you have to go. I've been using Komoot for quite a few years now, and I'm convinced it's the way to go for longer navigation. But I also think that having a phone as a backup and also being able to use it for local off-route navigation before you return to the main one, well, I think that is a really useful addition. But let me know if you found a better way of navigating. Perhaps you have your own way of doing it. Do tell me in the comments. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, thumbs up. See you again next time. And if you're worried about midges, these midges are these midges are absolutely chuffing. Right, get it right, Simon. And if you're worried about battery life, then you can... And if you're worried about battery life, then just serve... And I'm going to get out of here before I get eaten alive.